Well, let's talk about this past weekend's games instead of what's going on outside of the stadiums. What y'all think about the Georgia-South Carolina game?
I tell you, it didn't surprise me at all. Georgia's they've always managed to blow one, and I think we're all talked about South Carolina not being as bad as we saw the way they looked the first game of the season.
I think, man, you picked South Carolina last week, if I'm not mistaken.
We did.
Yep, and I picked Georgia because y'all picked South Carolina.
I know it.
Because when Spurs back is against the wall,
He wins.
Well, there's more talk this week now about Mark Richt being on the hot seat, and after that,
every year.
Gurley the other night averaged 6 yards per carry. All right, when they intercepted that ball with like a minute and 2 minutes to go, and they returned it to the 4-yard line.
They didn't even
They
run.
did not give the ball to – I would have run Gurley 3 straight plays. If you don't, you get a field goal just like a PAT. But instead, you run some kind of screen, and your quarterback gets flagged for intentional grounding, which backs you up. You lose the down. Then you give it to Gurley, and everybody –
Well, he's 16 yards. I mean, he's got, it's not a 1-2-3 situation now.
No.
And they know, I mean, he's –
everybody in the country knew he was going to get it that play because he didn't get it the first play.
Yeah.
So they dropped him for a 3-yard loss. And then they threw another incomplete pass, and then the kicker misses the field goal, and they lose 38-35.
Well, offensive coordinator is Mike Bobo.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't understand.
Well, how does Mark Richt let that happen?
well, I mean, you have
First and goal from the 4, and your running back, who is in the
One of
front
the best
for the Heisman right now,
not now probably, but
averaging 6 yards a carry, and he doesn't touch the ball.
it don't make sense to me. And I know up there the boosters still scratching their head, and they're going, well, there's that game. Mark's blown again. And this is and they still got a chance to regroup, but you can forget probably SEC championship for Georgia now. You can probably forget any Final Four. I mean, because I can't see them making it through the season
I don't either.
unscathed now.
Because they still have to play Florida. They have to play Tennessee. They have to play Auburn.
Vanderbilt.
And Missouri.
What's that look for? Vanderbilt won this weekend.
This same
Yeah,
look
by
on my
the- by the
same
skin of
look,
their teeth.
the same look on my
UMass,
face.
yeah.
The same look on my face right now. You can match that with the look that should be on the athletic director of Florida State, just shaking that head. And Georgia still got to play Missouri.
Yeah. And Missouri, just like they were last year, under the radar, nobody's giving them any
I
love.
know it.
But they're good. Their defense may be one of the best in the SEC.
Without Michael Sam.
You had to go bring that crap up. God. I think their defensive ends are better this year than they were last year. No, I mean, I'm not just saying that because
You just had to
They're
penetrate
gone.
that conversation.
I
didn't
did.
you?
oh my
I
God.
had to slip it
This
in
is
and
a
out.
family
I had
show.
to
This is
slip-
not a
yeah.
Jameis Winston show. Moving on to the next game. Texas and UCLA. Charlie Strong says all the recruits got to see them competing with the top 10 team, which should help them in recruiting.
Not really. I mean, Texas. Charlie Strong forgets that Texas isn't Texas El Paso. I mean, this is the Texas Longhorns, and they're 1-3 right. I mean, 1-2 right now, and I think we picked them 6-6. And I tell you, they'll be lucky to win the 6
I'm
games.
thinking more like 2-10. now.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see them. I can't see them breaking 500.
UCLA is probably the worst team to ever be ranked. I mean, Rick Newhousel's kid, is it Jerry or Jeffrey?
No, the
Comes
2000
in
the 2000 Alabama team is the worst team to be ranked. That finished 3-8.
Have you seen Texas play this year?
Yeah, I watched them a
But
couple
we
of
weren't
times.
ranked then.
Huh?
We weren't ranked.
Well, we were preseason 3 that year, and we lost.
okay.
And we lost ironically to UCLA.
Well,
And then we
That's
just kind
right. I was
of
at a
hit the
ball
skids.
I don't know who the worst team I've seen play, if it's Texas or Vanderbilt. They're right there. That'd be a good game.
But I tell you, that
Texas
just
and Vanderbilt.
disappoints me about Vanderbilt. I mean, the 3
I know it.
seasons that they just had, and to come in and be back the cellar dwellers in the SEC again right now. Hey, and kudos to Kentucky
yeah.
for
I know
giving
it.
Florida
Hey,
everything they could handle
Stoops is getting that.
in the swamp.
Well, Kentucky's going to beat some people they weren't supposed to beat.
They
Yeah.
sure will.
They'll be. I had Vandy beating Kentucky, but I guess I have to reverse that now.
I think Vandy's going to beat Charleston Southern, and that may be their last win.
Yeah, I can't see them
Well-
doing any damage.
The rest of them are SEC
Okay,
games.
I was thinking Vandy played UAB, but I guess I was wrong.
No. Well, one
was
thing about
Mississippi State
Vanderbilt,
did that,
I mean,
yeah.
I like Derek Mason. Just the way he talks, I don't know. He talks a good game, I guess, but
He seemed like he's too much of a micromanager coaching was, because especially the way he handled the rotating quarterbacks in that first game.
yeah, and he
kinda
started
panicked.
a true freshman this week. He was 1 for 2, completed 1 pass through interception, took him out. Now that kid's lost his red shirt. He can't red shirt him now. So
That's
I
kinda
mean,
dumb.
and he's got 4 more quarterbacks that he's played before this guy. This kid ain't took a snap all year, and he started him the other night, and now he can't red shirt.
Well, like Kevin said last week, the first quarterback in that first
Robinette.
Yeah, the one that was 4 and 7.
Yeah.
4 for 7. They took him out, and then put another one in when there wasn't anything wrong with the 4 for 7 guy.
Well, that's who brought him back to win this time. He should be this time. I'd hope he's the starting quarterback this week. He should be for the rest of the year. I don't know. I don't understand that.
Now we've discussed this before, and I can't remember, is Aaron Rodgers' little brother, or is it
He's
Rivers?
graduated. It's Phillip Rivers.
Okay, all right.
Stephen Rivers is his name. He's about like Coker. He's 6'6" or 6'7".
Big boy.
That's who I'd stick with right there. I mean,
He's not very good.
I know, but at least, I mean, as far as his size, I mean, I don't know.
Well, that Robinette kid, when they brought him in the other night, I mean, I don't remember what the score was when they were down like 14 or maybe
they were
even
down
more than that.
31-20 or
And he brought them back and won the game.
Well, that UMass is a mighty powerful team.
Yeah.
They've been a power all 3 years they've been in the FBS.
Yes. Did Marcus Camby have anything to do with it?
Their stadium is
Oh.
sponsored by Cialis.
Oh,
The
gosh.
Minutemen. That's the rumor anyway.
He slept on that one too, Andy. He woke up in the middle of the night and wrote that down.
Yeah, he's tired. He's over there dozing now.
The Minutemen with Cialis. Well, and now the big talk in the SEC is Arkansas again. They're back up there in the front runners.
Well, I tell you, I was really surprised at the whooping they put on Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I really was.
I
I
think-
had Texas Tech beating them,
I did too.
and to me, they
I
are.
thought Texas Tech would beat them too.
They're a surprise team to me because they played better than I thought they'd play against Auburn. They do have a running game, nothing else, but they were able to beat Texas. And obviously, they've got a defense because Texas Tech's wide open still,
Mm-hmm.
and they held them to 21 points.
Yeah,
And that was like nothing. It was like 21-21, I believe.
I think it was.
And then they held them to nothing the rest of the game. And so, I mean, looking down the road, though, I mean, Arkansas might win a game or two that I didn't pick them to win.
They had 458 yards rushing on like 22 carries.
So,
59 carries, excuse me.
so that
One
just
guy
goes to
had
show,
22
too,
carries.
also that Texas Tech ain't got no defense.
Well, let's see how they match up against Oklahoma and Baylor.
Yeah, we'll get to find out because you can't go one game deals because, I'm having to eat my words against. I figured South Carolina was blown.
I
I
did
didn't figure they'd do anything. I said, but then again, we're talking about Steve Spurrier, and Steve Spurrier obviously he gave Mark Richt everything he could handle, and Mark Richt's got that knack for screwing a game up that he ought to win. And but they did come back to tie South Carolina because for a while it was 21-13. So they did get something going. But I think Mark Richt's on the hot seat.
What do y'all think?
Again.
Well, he will be if he doesn't win his next SEC game. What do you think about with Florida? With Florida and Kentucky? Well, let's just say Florida. I know Muschamp last year, they had tons of injuries on that team last year. But look what he got handed when he got to Florida. Everybody's kind of big on Muschamp not being a good coach.
I love Muschamp. I mean,
I think he's a great coach. He had nothing at Florida when he got there.
Yeah, when he came in, there wasn't no.
Because Urban Meyer, after Alabama beat them in the,
They pretty much quit
championship
recruiting
game,
and
he
depleted
did.
them.
He went to the hospital after the game
Yeah.
and he quit recruiting. There was nobody came in that year.
Uh-uh.
And then you have Ron Zook, who knows where he came
Oh
from.
Lord!
And it was just a debacle.
Well, it's almost like the Tommy Tuberville deal when we finished that streak at 36-0, and Tommy had quit recruiting that year.
Yeah.
And it caught
and
Auburn.
Chiswick had to deal with that for a year or two.
And so, I mean, they everybody gives Chiswick a hard time, but Tommy did not bring any new blood into that system that year. he was ready to go. You're getting back at him for Jetgate.
Well, it's not like it's not. I don't think it's all Muschamp's fault because, he's had to start basically from nothing. And if you look now, their defense is pretty good again. They're getting there.
There's one thing that was Muschamp's fault, and that's hiring Charlie Weiss.
Yeah, now I have to agree with that.
Yeah, I can't.
But I think
him.
he's made the right decision in this
Kurt
Roper. And actually, that first offensive coordinator he had, or wait a minute, Brent Peace what was it last year?
How long is Muschamp? But this is his third year.
Third year.
That's his fourth year.
His fourth
isn't it?
year. Yeah, I think Charlie Weiss was there 2 years.
Okay.
And then
he had Brent Peace 1 year, and then Peace left to go do something else. Maybe I'm. Well, I don't think.
Who was it?
No,
was it Joker Phillips? Was he the one? Was he the offensive coordinator last year?
Nuh-uh.
Or was it Brent? Then it was Brent Peace last year. Then.
Yeah.
And then he brought in Kurt Roper this year.
Okay, well, let me ask you, what year did we make Urban Meyer sick?
2009.
Yeah.
Okay.
2011 was Muschamp's first year. Because I remember that Alabama, Florida, we played them at Florida, and the first play of the game, they threw a long pass and scored. And I thought, man, we're fixing to get blown out of here.
That
and
was all they did.
And Brantley was their quarterback, and we popped him in the second quarter, and he got hurt. And then but that was his first, because 2010, Urban returned to Tuscaloosa because they had to play Alabama, and we beat them 38-6.
Okay, so that makes Muschamp go in there at 2011, 2012, 2013. This is his fourth year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he had Joker Phillips was an offensive coordinator for him, wasn't he?
Or he was
on
the
the
receivers coach or something.
He's on the staff now, Joker Phillips.
No,
is.
he got kicked off the staff because
that
recruiting
Okay,
violations.
Yeah.
he was on that. He must have been on there.
He resigned for
He was-
personal reasons.
Joker was on there last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then left.
Yep. When we come back, we're going to talk about this week's matchups and make our picks. See how we do this week. See if we do a little better than we did. Well, better than I did last week. We'll be back.